and welcome to Gardening 365 49. And it's a birthday special. It's my birthday and one of my presents was a wormery, and it's something I've been wanting now for a while. So it's a wormery made by Worm City. The very first thing that you notice is it is quite plasticky, so it needs to last for a few years, which I'm sure it will do. And what I've done so far is join the bottom together, put a piece of cardboard in, and I've set the tap up. And from there, what I'm going to do is sort this very first level out. Now, I bought this without worms and I bought it without food purposely because I think I can do all of this stuff myself. Now in here I've got some compost that I mixed up. I've got the tea from the tea bags that I've been collecting, and I'm not sure if you can see it, I've got some ripped up cardboard. So I'm going to sort of put them in and mix them up a bit. Covered the cardboard up now with the compost. I've covered the compost up with some cardboard. I've covered the cardboard up with a mixture of tea and coffee grounds. And then I'm going to finish that off with some food for them. Now this is just stuff out of our in-house compost caddy. So there's a tissue there, there's some broccoli, there's a few daffies, there's a pepper, the offcuts from that, and that's going to be their food. Now at the moment this is all pretty dry because of the time of the year and whatever else, so I'm just going to put a little bit of water on it just to dampen it down before I add the worms. Normally they wouldn't have to do that, but it's just because everything's so dry at the moment. But I'm not going to put too much water in at all. And that's it pretty much. But I have got 3 more trays, so I've got 3 more levels that I can go up, and you can buy extra trays as well if you want. Apparently you can go as high as 7. Might get a bit top heavy at that stage though. And you're going to be the first resident of my new worm house. And animal waste, this is from the goose house, is ideal for going into the compost bin. It is a rich source of nitrogen, so I'm going to get that in now. And now I need some carbon, so I'm going to use some wood chip for this. I've put my carbons in, now I need some nitrogen. And where do you think I could get some nitrogen from? Oh, I could get some from the grass.
Claire, what's for breakfast?
Sausage, egg and mushrooms!
Oh, next week I think I'll be supplying the mushrooms. Mushroom growing is a thing of beauty. And hopefully I'll be supplying the mushrooms for the next few weeks. And what we have in there is a shop bought mushroom, just placed in some old tea leaves. And as you can see now, it's starting to grow, and that's what I'll use as my culture to grow mushrooms hopefully in the future. The amaryllis, unfortunately, for the second time now, is coming towards the end of its bloom. Surely we can't get any more out of this year, but it'd be nice. My main crop tomatoes are looking great. They will need potting up. Whether that's a priority today, I don't know. That's possibly more like a midweek job. My castor oil plant that I thought was dead is back. So the castor oil plant is going to be big and strong again very soon. The hibiscus that never fails to impress is back in bloom. What a great plant it is. Flowers almost all the year round. The new plant, the new arrival, is looking great. And the bird of paradise is looking bigger and better each week. And this week's plant of the week is... it's a dandelion. Not everybody's favourite, maybe considered a weed, but is edible. And actually a nice little bit of colour. This week's plant of the week, dandelions. And I'm just about to burn some rubbish, but hang on. That cardboard box I could use for a little project. I'll burn the rest though. It's cardboard that's shiny, and I never ever use cardboard that's shiny. And if you look careful on this piece of cardboard, you can see the plastic film. This bit is fine. This bit needs to be discarded because of that very thin film of plastic. And that's almost done it. Only a few minutes, and my next job isn't going to take that long either. now got some good cardboard, ignore the other stuff, ready for this project. Now, as you have seen before, I've got raised beds which are absolutely incredible. But each year I'm sort of running out of room to grow. So what I did last year is I dug this area down here and grew potatoes. Now as you can see, the ground is rock hard already and there are deep rooted perennial weeds in there. So I've got to come up with an idea, okay, to be able to do this successfully. And what I've done is I've watched some videos on YouTube, okay, and there's a guy called Charles Dowding which I would recommend everybody searches for on YouTube, and he's developed something called the no-dig process, and I'm going to show you how that's done, my version of it, okay. And I'm pretty sure I can grow my runner beans and other plants in that area without any digging and without pulling any weeds. I'll show you how it's done. Lay some cardboard down and always overlap it, don't leave gaps. If you do, the weeds will grow up and that's not what we want to do. So overlap it. I've got about 3 inches overlap there, that should be fine. Now the big difference between mine and Charles Dowding is I've used bricks just to hold the cardboard down. We've got cats and things like that that can scratch it out, so it just keeps the soil in place a little bit more. But the real double whammy about this is later on in the year I'm going to build permanent raised beds here, and what it'll do is make the soil better, ready for me to make them later in the year, so it's not time wasted. So I'm start filling there. I haven't gone all the way to the end yet. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I want, so I can now start filling in. I'll probably need to top the soil up as well at some point. But that's my interpretation of no dig. We'll see how it works, and obviously I'll keep you informed. Now I'm using a good quality soil mix, so this is normal garden soil mixed with horse manure mixed with compost, but you can buy just pure compost from the garden centres, but try and buy peat free if you can. And in just over an hour I've even planted, so that's pretty good going. Remember, I've used bricks as well, you don't have to use bricks, that's how quick you can do it, and I haven't lifted a spade at all. And the problem I've got is I've just run out of prepared soil, so I've got to go and prepare some more soil now. But that's pretty much it. That's my interpretation of Charles Dowding's no dig, and we'll see how it goes. I've got one little problem. With the depth being so small, I think they'll dry out very, very quickly, so I've got to make sure that they're well watered. So I'll very shortly be putting some water on these, and I'll probably put water on everything to get it all going. And what could I use a tea from the tea bags for? In the wormery. Perfect. And the worms love tea bags. Well, they love the tea in the tea bags. Well, that's about it for today. My wormery is now set up and working, and I'll show you how we go with that sort of next week, and possibly the week after that I'll put another level on, okay, which is when it really does start to work. So really pleased with the wormery, and thank you very much for Claire for that. Oh my god, I've got a potato coming through. I'm going to need to cover that up for tonight because there's frost to give an out, and that should do, but I've got to watch that now because I don't want those potatoes popping through while we still got the frost. Finished planting raised bed 1, put the last of the exhibition onions in, and I've now put in there some kohlrabi and 2 pak choi. I'm still covering everything up at night because of the frosts. And my cottage garden, as I call it, is done and all planted. And the reason why I call it my cottage garden, because it's a bit rustic, it's a bit wobbly, but it's the way I wanted it. Okay, and it's looking good. So onions at the bottom, and I've got some different shallots at the top. These were given to me by Jane, one of our neighbours, so thank you very much for Jane on those. I haven't tried those before, these long thin shallots. I'll see how they go, and they might be my shallot of choice for the following years. We'll see how they are. So that concludes this week's episode of Gardening 365 birthday special. Thank you so much for everybody that's wished me messages. If you're watching on Facebook, please leave a comment, and if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, and we'll see everybody next time for the next Gardening 365. Okay, thanks, bye.